Republicans are now, believe it or not, openly praising one of the New Year's Eve terrorists. I'll let you guess which one it is, but no, it's pretty clear. But anyway, this is the guy behind the Vegas Cybertruck bombing at Trump's hotel. So he's in a Cybertruck, the best car, I think we can all agree. And outside of a Trump hotel, the best business, I think we can all agree. And for some reason, they don't seem to mind that one all that much. Now, yesterday I predicted on the show that if it turned out, as the initial indications seemed to say that it would, that this guy was MAGA, that they were just going to ignore the ideology, ignore the motivations. Let's just focus on the Muslim one instead. And I'm part right, I guess, in that it wouldn't worry them, but I guess I was naive because they seem to be weirdly embracing it. I don't know, we'll get to that in a sec, but just on the evidence, his uncle says that he loved Trump. He was pro-MAGA. He was a very patriotic soldier. I think obviously they mean something very different with the word patriotic than we would. I think all the other stuff that we know about this guy kind of rules that out. But they say that, yeah, no, he's total MAGA, loves Trump, all that stuff. Patriotic guy, former soldier, Army Green Beret, all of that. And what do we get from some of the most influential people on the right? Well, Matt Gaetz tweeted, "The Vegas dude seems like a real Chad." I don't know exactly what intonation to do there, but it's in caps and has 2 question marks. So he's not saying it, he's questioning it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to do the intonation that I think the Botox and surgery would do to the vocal cords. I don't know. But anyway, he says that. Then he later responds to himself, "So bizarre." I don't know if he's saying the situation in Vegas is bizarre or the fact that he just complimented a terrorist is bizarre. That would be the one that would stand out to me. But also other right wingers, all of whom weirdly enough pay Elon Musk to be on Twitter, agree with him. Spence says he was a patsy, bro. Slayer of Tiamat, who I guess plays D&D, I don't know, says none of this makes any sense to me whatsoever. Seems MK Ultra-ish. Are we there yet? Says something doesn't add up. Bird Photog says, and that's gonna bother Anna, I still want to know time of death of the guy, makes no sense. And so, look, I guess all this should be weird, but we also understand the pattern going on here. So it turns out he's MAGA. So just like with the Butler shooter, if they're MAGA, well then it's a plant. Something fishy is going on, MK Ultra, the CIA or whatever. To be clear, if it's like a trans shooter, not a plant, it's exactly what it looks like. If it's a lib, if it's a BLM person, it's not a plant, it's exactly what it looks like. FBI obviously wouldn't get involved. And oh dear God, if it's a Muslim, it is 100% exactly what it looks like. But if it's a right winger, nope, it's a plant. It's a setup, you can't trust it. We don't have to do any thinking about, particularly for a person like Matt Gaetz, what effect he has had in his advocacy, what he's going to be doing with his new role in media. We can just compliment him and then move on with our lives. No self-analysis required, Brett. What do you make of all this?
I mean, just the weird ink blot turds that Matt Gaetz has developed the skill to drop on X is masterful. Like, he just said, he sounds like a real Chad. In the moment, what can I write to give people enough to put their confirmation bias filter and apply it to that tweet and then come away feeling smart? This is what I hate, is all those things that you had, like he's a patsy, none of this makes any sense to me, got it, but then goes on to say, must be MK Ultra. What are we talking about, dude? This is the difference between, like, a lot of us get in trouble for saying that people like this within the MAGA movement are stupid, right? But the difference is that the MAGA movement will call stupid people smart because they want to keep them stupid. And I call stupid people stupid in hopes that they will realize they're being stupid and suddenly become smart. Like the entire MAGA movement, the way that they coddle, like I watched at the AmFest when Cenk went there. Before him was the guy that we have, the cop, the black cop guy that comes on Indisputable and does it. He did a speech and they bring up all these guys, and I'd heard like ethereally that the right wing has like, they really coddle and embrace guys who are white guys who are having a bit of a problem. But the way they do it is so cynical and horrible and redirects them toward weird crap like this. Like, oh, the guy's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to get off on a tangent. We can talk about it later. But in these situations, people like Matt Gaetz will embrace folks that are like, there's clear evidence in one direction, but it conflicts with my worldview. How can I warp it so it fits into my worldview? And then Matt Gaetz is like, Chad, all caps, question mark, this is bizarre. Rather than doing what a normal, decent person would do, would just be like, I'm wrong. Like the guy who shot at Trump was a Republican, and the guy who blew up the thing seems to have loved Trump.
Yeah.
Like, just deal with the facts. But they take swings like this and then declare victory after, even though they have no right to, if you look at the goddamn scoreboard.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously he's doing this on Twitter, where the rules, such as they are, even more warped than they are everywhere else in America and in our media. So he can't help but win. The only people who you're even going to see the replies from are those who are paying Elon Musk. So the entire thing is, it's something beyond an echo chamber, because an echo chamber is kind of like a passive thing. You make the noise and I guess eventually it bounces. But this is like, you make the noise and then the walls rush at you at light speed to bounce it back in your face, and you're paying to make the walls rush at your face. The entire thing is way more aggressive than an echo chamber. But anyway, yeah, and just to be clear, like, so if some random person posted that Luigi Mangione is a snack or whatever, clearly they should be investigated by the FBI.
Right.
If Matt Gaetz, who's gonna be the head of the DOJ and now has a show on kind of the news, it's OAN, but it's still technically the news, he could just be like, he's awesome. I don't understand it. And by the way, I'm not saying that because there is a clear pattern of established MAGA right-wingers for some reason targeting Trump, targeting symbols of Trump. I'm not saying Matt Gaetz is responsible for that. I'm not saying they have to declare surrender because clearly there's something going wrong. I'm just saying, wouldn't you want to like think about it a little bit? Like, why? Like, and maybe coming out of that thinking, you just say we have a mental health problem in this country, which clearly we do. But why are so many of the people on your side attacking their own side? I don't have an answer to that. And obviously I'm not a part of that conversation, but like, I feel like somebody should have that conversation, because eventually the bullet's gonna like strike true. Eventually the bomb is gonna actually take down the building. Like, you guys have been lucky that your homegrown, your side terrorists are utter failures at all of this, but maybe one day one won't be a failure. And I, for one, would like to avoid that happening. It's weird that you guys don't seem to care about stopping that from happening.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just the question I have in the wake of all this, to put a button on it, is do you think as a news host that Matt Gaetz can do more or less cocaine than when he was a congressperson? Just asking. Fair question. Let's put it to a poll in the chat.
Similar level. I doubt. I mean, he's gonna arguably do less minutes of work a day now than he did back then. Like, you think
fewer minutes, John. Get your grammar right.
Oh God, get off my back, Stannis. But also like his schedule of like crazy coke parties and everything, alleged crazy coke parties, I'm sure will be at least as vigorous as it was before.